Today I'm going to do a video on finding your house. Everybody wants to find their house, right? We're going to go into world map. We're not going to use my house. I like you just fine and thank you for watching, but we're not using my house. Pick an airport. Hopefully you know the closest airport to your house. Doesn't have to be a major one. I'm going to use LAX. And actually, if I'm finding my house, I'll just take off and arrive at the same airport. Now, you don't necessarily have to take off. Pick an aircraft, whatever you want. I mean, don't pick, the Beechcraft King Air or a 737. Get something you can fly slow and low and turn around a lot. The DA-40 is nice because it's got a wide windscreen, but use whatever you want. I'll just use the NX Cub. And then if you know where your house is exactly and can find it in world map, you can drop a pin on it here, but it's pretty tricky to pick out the streets, and unless you know really well where your house is from the air, that's going to be pretty tough. So what I'm going to do is save this flight plan. So I saved that flight plan in my downloads. Now notice it saved an SPB file. I'm going to delete that. I don't need it. And then I'm going to open it in Simflightplan. This way I can use Google Maps to find my house. If we were using my actual house just by the major streets, I'd be able to find the intersections and find my house from there. And if you can find your house in world map, then you don't really need the Google map. You can just click fly in world map and off you go. If you don't even think you can find it on the Google map, choose any of the locations, any pinned location. You can view it on Google Maps, and then you can just search for your address and it'll find it for you. We're not gonna find my house specifically, so we need to pick a spot in, how about Beverly Hills? I like Beverly Hills. I know this is gonna be a shock, but I don't actually live in Beverly Hills. We're gonna have to find a place we can find from the air. Typically you would know what your own house looks like, but let's go to satellite. Oh, somewhere close to the beer store would be great. And just find something distinctive that we'll be able to find it from the air. The bigger the better, but that shouldn't be too hard in Beverly Hills. Or here, this is a distinctive shaped house with the pool in the back. So it's kind of in between North Beverly. Not sure what that road is, but we'll find it. So let's just drop a pin on my house. This should be easy to find from the air. And then I dropped it at the end, but really, if you were going to fly it, you just take off from LAX, fly over your house, land at LAX, and it's 8 miles, 347 degree bearing, leaving the airport, and then 167 degrees takes you back to the airport from your house. So let's switch back to map, and let's zoom back out. And we're not going to take off from the airport. About halfway would be 4 miles. We can go closer than that. Whatever this is, Route 2 there. What is that? Santa Monica Boulevard. Awesome. We're so hip and cool. We live right here by the Beverly Hilton. So we'll just spawn over Santa Monica Boulevard. But what we'll do is pick our spawn location right here over the Beverly Hilton, and I don't know how tall the Beverly Hilton is. Can't be more than 700 feet. We can pick our heading to make sure we're headed towards our house. So it's basically due north, 03 degrees. Also, you can adjust your compass size if you want. It'll pick a compass based on the zoom level, but you can change it if you want. So we decided that's what, 3 or 4 degrees, and we're not on the ground, and we decided 700 feet should get us over the Beverly Hilton. I certainly hope it does. And we're going to be in flight cruise. 10 in the morning is fine. Middle of summer is fantastic. And I'll just save it over the top. Actually, we can probably check Beverly Hilton's, what is that, like maybe 6 stories, so it's 70, 80 feet tall, maybe. So we should be good. Oh, we're still at the equator, so let's go ahead and load. It now has our custom waypoint, but instead of spawning at LAX, we're spawned right over the Beverly Hilton, pointed towards our house. Notice how it's our house now, too? Y'all are complicit. This is actually your house, sorry, but we needed to use some place. We're over Wilshire Boulevard and Santa Monica Boulevard, and there's the Beverly Hilton directly below us. Now, we ought to pay attention to where we're going to fly. Let's look at it satellite, zoom in a bit more, because really these streets look all a lot the same from the air. We're going to pass Sunset Boulevard, looks like a major intersection, before we start getting to strange shaped streets. This arch is what we're really looking for, and then we should be on the west side of this little short stretch of Beverly Drive. Oh, I see, it's North Beverly and Beverly, so we could just follow North Beverly and we should go right over the top. So we need to pick up North Beverly midway across the neighborhood. Let's zoom in a little closer so that as we fly, maybe we can read these street names. And then I'll just try and fly as slow as I can. We want to pick up North Beverly as we come across Sunset here at Will Rogers Park. What does that look like in satellite? Yeah, we should be able to spot this triangle, and then we're looking to, basically the triangle points at North Beverly Drive, so that's where we want to end up. Oh, and I'm out of fuel, but I have a button to solve that. Here, let me pause, which it's a good time to mention, if you're looking for individual houses, active pause sure is helpful. So if you don't have a button set to active pause on your joystick, you might want to do that. But what we should have done is filled our fuel tanks when we set our spawn location in the air. So if I was going to save this flight, well, maybe I'll upload it to Simflightplan.com in case you want to fly it. And try to slow way down. There's our park. So our house should be right over here. Oh, you can't see the pool. Yeah, there's more trees than what there really should be, I think. Make another pass here. Yeah, you can't hardly see North Beverly. And there's the pool, partially obscured by the trees. Okay, so here's Sunset. And this is North Beverly, isn't it? Yep. Guess I should have picked one of these places on the ridge line. Those would be easy to find. What you can do is trick it into giving you the heading to your house by telling it my current waypoint is the original waypoint. So now when I turn on GPS follow, turn on my satellite, notice now I get a real-time heading to where my house is from where my aircraft is, not where LAX was. You'll see the distance and the heading will change as my aircraft moves. There's the pool. You can see it's kind of U-shaped. It goes around the pool. And now if I want to make another pass, again, it'll help me find it using my heading. So I'm 351, but by the time I finish my turn over here, it's probably going to be 2 something. Once the number stops and goes back the other direction, you know you're on the right heading. And I can also kind of pay attention to that as I'm looking out the side of the aircraft without being able to see my instruments. Oh, there's a nice place too. Oh, that must be the Randolph Hearst estate. Boy, it's a good thing we got the X-Cub. There's our place, the U-shaped place, tucked in the trees more than the Google imagery showed. But we're pretty close to the Randolph Hearst estate, which has a little castle icon, so that helps. It's also pretty distinctive from the air because it's got a long rectangular pool, and it basically points right at our pool. Oh, there's that circular pool we saw earlier. That's how to find your house without having to take off from the airport. Although we could have taken off from LAX and still found it. It's just a bit easier to find with Google Maps than it is trying to find it in World Map with no street names, or trying to use the glass cockpit to find it. Be pretty tricky as well. That's how to find your house. I'll go ahead and upload this flight plan if you want to do it as practice, but you can use the same technique to find your own house. Go to Simflightplan.com and download Simflightplan today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe.